Do you ever come across a trash fire and you're like, man, I wish there was even more trash so this fire could get bigger? Sometimes dreams do come true. My roommate is a sick girl and has locked me out of the apartment. Yes, in our r/BadRoommates video from 8 months ago, we covered a sick girl very briefly. She wasn't the star of the show in that one. I'll include the link to that video in the description. It's around the 17-minute mark. The real star of that video is the guy that poops in a suitcase. But this has like a whole saga behind it that Lady Angelia dug up for us, so we're gonna dive into that. It might be just one part. It might be a couple more parts because there is a lot to talk about. My advice to OP was that they get up and out of that house. Obviously, that advice wasn't heeded, at least not yet. So I won't yak on too much. We'll get into this thing and see what we've got today. In 1,000 years, I never thought I'd be one of those people to write a continuation of a story, but today was just too much, and I need to vent/share. TLDR, she demanded I not return for the weekend, locked me out of our apartment, and the front desk staff had to let me in. That is insanely embarrassing. But at least you had some front desk staff, I guess. Otherwise, you gotta call the locksmith, convince them that you're not breaking in. It's just the whole thing. 2 days ago, my roommate had her little ahem coughs. She thought she had pneumonia, but eventually settled that it was just her torn rotator cuff that was hurting her lungs. Okay. Yesterday afternoon, my roommate went to the doctor. She apparently called me twice and texted me on my personal phone, but I was on video conferences until 6 p.m. yesterday. She storms in at 6:15 p.m. and the following exchange happens. Her, "You didn't answer my texts or calls." All right, let me just pump the brakes on you right there. You're my goddamn roommate. As long as I'm getting my half of the rent paid, you just stay the fuck out of my way. That's all I need from you. I'm not a great roommate. OP seems to have a better response, and they say, "I've been in video conferences all day. You know this, remember? I told you I had meetings until the end of the day." Roommate, "Really? Well, I may need to go to the ER tomorrow, so you'll need to stay here in case this medicine doesn't work." OP, "Oh, well, I can't. I'm with my boyfriend all day tomorrow." Her, "Oh my god, how can you not care about me? We're friends, and roommates wouldn't do this. You don't take any of my conditions seriously. I could die from asthma." Talk is cheap. No, really, if roommate and OP were friends before this, this has quickly soured that friendship. And for good reason. How could anybody endure this every single day? OP closes and locks the door to the room. I'm not dealing with this. Cue 3 minutes of silence while I ignore her ranting. Roommate through my door, "I don't think you understand how serious my condition is. I may need to go to the ER tomorrow." Okay, get on the bus. Ride your bike. What do you want? OP, "Well, it seems like you're fine enough to yell at me." Roommate, "Because they've had 6 shots of steroids and a nebulizer." Oh, got that roid rage in you, huh? "The doctors say if this doesn't work, I need to go to the ER. You don't take any of my chronic conditions seriously." No. You don't take any of your chronic conditions seriously. You're right that you probably need to go to the ER, but that does not include me in any way. OP says, "I don't take you seriously because you have lied and asked me to take you to the ER many times before. Yeah, I just don't take you seriously, yes." Roommate, "Fuck you! I never asked to go to the ER. I just tell you that I may need to go. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm done. I'm moving out in January." Hallelujah. OP says, "Are you sure?" Roommate, "Yes, I'm done. I need to live with someone who has compassion and has a heart. January, I'm gone. Bye." We can move that date up if you want. I'll help you find a place. Get the hell out of here. I'm sure OP was compassionate. They did have a heart up until a certain point. And now you're just abusing my kindness and I don't have to sit here and take it no more. OP says, "Okay, give me a date." her January. That's not a date. So I left for the gym. I came back and showered and changed and ate some food. Then I left to go hang with the boyfriend and spend the night at his place. I didn't bring a change of clothes. Whoops. I get this gem of a text this morning. If you can stay at your boyfriend's place this weekend, that'd be great. I want to be alone. Thanks. She sent this at 10 a.m. this morning. Naturally, I decided screw that and wanted to change my clothes from the night before and grab some things before spending the rest of the day with the boyfriend. So I go back to my place and listen for coughing. I hear nothing through the door, and I listen for about 5 minutes. So I go to unlock the door, and she has the U-latch down, so I can't enter. I'm not saying you should light a fire and smoke her out, but the door would get opened up real quick. So I knock on the door for 5 minutes, then I open the door until the U-latch catches and begin giving a loud lecture on literacy skills. No response. So I went down to the front desk and vented/asked for help from the building staff there. I warned them that she wouldn't respond to me, but the moment they asked her to open the door, she claimed, oh, she was just zonked out on like some sleeping pills or whatever. Guess what? The staff and I went up together. I knocked on the door, asked through the U-latch gap for her to open the door. No response. The staff member demands that she opens the door. She leaps up from her bedroom and says, oh, sorry, so groggy, painkillers, and unlatches the door. The staff member just looks at me and whispers, I cannot believe that. Yes, staff member, feel grateful that you don't have to live with this every goddamn day. So I grabbed 2 changes of clothes, my work phone, laptop, charger, and some personal care products, and just ran out of the apartment. And here I am in our building's lobby, typing this out. The building staff is really sympathetic, but I'm in kind of a just get on with the day mood and haven't really processed what the hell is going on. I'm now scared that she's going to begin increasing her vindictive streak as punishment for not taking her seriously and for involving others. I'm not sure what she could do, but I'm beginning to fear that she'll just start making shit up. You mean even more than she already has? Of course I could confront her, but I know what her excuse will be. I was drugged out on extremely strong painkillers. What do you want me to do? I'm sick. What don't you get about that? On the positive, she's Venmoing me now for the cost of the furniture that we purchased together, so maybe she actually is moving out in January. I am an adult. I just want this drama to be over with. Okay, good. We have a date. We're looking at the end game at this point. Of course, she could be lying about all of it. I tend to believe that she is. She's using this whole I'm sick all the time thing as an excuse to not get out of her comfort zone. It's really weird. Even the first time we brushed across this situation, it was weird. But the plot is only thickening up, so let's get into the third part and see what could possibly happen. My roommate is a sick girl and threatened to call the police so she could have the apartment to herself. That's really what this is all about, isn't it? She wants alone time, but alone time in her room isn't good enough. She wants to own the entire place and only pay half the rent. Sorry, not sorry. That's just not how it works. OP says, hi, everyone. I've decided to do one final update for Thanksgiving before I get properly smashed. Don't worry, we have a lovely metro system here, which apparently roommate is too good for. A lot happened, and I truly did not want to start one of those Series 1, Series 2 updates, only the major things, and really only give one final update around the end of December or early January when everything is finally over. I'm taking bets, dude. Do you think it's actually going to be over in January? This series goes on for a while, I'm gonna tell you. So, some minor stuff first. I found out that she is smearing my name in the apartment complex. Any person I've met, she's telling her sob story about how I'm a sociopathic, non-emotional robot. Apparently her go-to phrase is, he's just so mean to me. Bro, I guarantee you the neighbors don't give a shit either. They're just trying to bring their groceries inside. Leave them alone. You want to be miserable by yourself, okay? Talk to your parents. Call your grandma. Nobody else need be involved. But OP, trying to be the bigger person here, says I have basically just been ignoring it, aside from a few contacts who I thought were close, but they've gone sorta cold, only giving me, oh really, if I try to engage in conversation of any sort. So that kinda sucks, but I'm not gonna bother fighting it, as I have an independent circle of friends that she cannot touch. And I mean, if they believed her that easily, then they ain't close friends anyways. The real ones know what type of person I am, alright? Sick girl roommate also left for California this week. She left all her dishes in the sink, hair in the bathroom, a giant box of recycling, and of course all of the trash in the garbage bin. None of this recycling or garbage is mine. Literally, none of it. Why? Well, because last week Monday, she told me to leave the apartment or she would call the police on me. Bro, there's something seriously wrong with her mentals. How did you even last this long? Basically, last weekend, she told me to stay at my boyfriend's. I then got a text from her saying, I'm sick and my breathing machine won't work if we're both here, so find somewhere else to work. The breathing machine turns off if there's a second person in the room? That seems like a horrible malfunction. I sent her a text back saying, no, I'm coming home. And then I marched home and told her that I would be working from home for the next week. Don't you understand, OP? She could suffocate because of the faulty breathing machine. Where's your compassion? That is heavy sarcasm for the record. Her excuses devolved as follows. It's because my breathing machine doesn't work if two people are in the apartment. That doesn't sound right at all. Is there, like, not enough air in the apartment? I'm sick and need absolute silence. Okay, I'll be as quiet as a church mouse. You're too loud and the walls are thin. Like I said, I'll be as quiet as a sleepy little church mouse. I just don't like you, and I don't want you near me. Well, get over it. I live here. God, I love that last answer more than any of the other previous ones. The other ones, like, have contrition baked into them. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll make it better for you. Oh, I'm super sorry, I'll make it better for you. And then the last one, he's like, line in the sand. I pay my rent, shut your goddamn mouth. Well, of course, everything just got worse from here. I have her recorded threatening me, threatening to break everything I own, damage the apartment, and be quote unquote a total and complete bitch every second that I'm in the apartment. When I asked her if she was threatening me, she goes, yeah, I'm friggin' threatening you. And I got that recorded. Hey, hey, hey. She also threatened to call the police if I didn't leave the apartment. Well, the police would probably be really interested in those recordings, you know? She's a 5'4" granola girl. I'm 6 foot and 200 pounds. I know that even if she's lying through her teeth, the police will side with her and I would be arrested. So I decided that I'd just leave in the morning because she does have that power to fuck up my life. Even if it was just a day or two of inconvenience, I don't want to go through that. I don't know, the police might be biased against you to start, but they generally do hear both sides of the story. And if you have all of that recorded and play it back for them, you might be surprised. She might be the one that ends up out of the apartment. And then while she's gone, you just move all her stuff out and change the locks. Boom! Done! That's how I always got rid of terrible roommates, and the police always sided with me. They're like, well, if you moved all your stuff outside, he must really not want you there. One of the myriad benefits of work from home. Oh, don't worry, buddy. You go to work. I'll move all your stuff out while you're gone. So I spent the entire week leaving at 9 a.m. and I was forbidden from coming back until 5 p.m. or else. You're letting yourself be held hostage. If you didn't have the recording, I might be a little bit worried, but you do have the recording, so go ahead. Let her find out. I dare you to do it. She also sent me a text on Monday saying to halt finding a new roommate because she wouldn't decide until December 1st if she was actually moving. Called this one. Then she went to the gym to work out with her personal trainer, you know, during her asthma attack. Well, let's just hope for the worst. On Thursday, she tried to go behind my back and break the lease, pretending that she had my consent to do so. The agent CC'd both of us in response, and I told/called the agent and told her what was going on. My roommate said, "It was merely an inquiry as to our options, so we could best discuss a logical conclusion to our conflict." I pointed out that there is only two options here. 1, someone subleases from you, or 2, someone takes over the lease from you. Then she sent me a text saying, "Option 3, you leave." Well, that is not happening. I may be too sick in January or February to move, and with your robust health, it only makes sense for you to move and not me. Plus, I'm not in a good situation financially. How? You make 120K. I pointed out that she volunteered to leave, and I got, "Well, I'm suffering and currently breathing through a machine." It's a nebulizer. So it makes no sense for me to move. It'll need to be you. I think you have underestimated how awkward I can make this situation for both of us. I will sit in the living room every day until we both die here, together. No more contrition, no more being quiet. This is now war. Anyways, OP clarifies, yeah, it is not a breathing machine. It's a damn nebulizer that she uses a couple times a day, and she got it from Walgreens last week. It's serious hospital equipment, OP. Take this seriously. She didn't even use it the day before she left for vacation. But this is my entire problem. She outright lies or exceedingly over-exaggerates about her illnesses and demands unending sympathy and unquestioning empathy and complete attention for every ache and pain and cough. And I'm done. I don't believe any of it. I vaguely recall that she sort of got me in the first post. I was starting to be sympathetic until I realized
you're a phony. Hey, this guy's a great big phony.
OP continues, and now she has her Living the Chronic Life or Living with Pain, a guidebook to living with lifelong pain books littered around the apartment to advertise how sick she is to anyone who comes in, just in case you weren't aware. Yeah, she's not reading these books, absorbing the messages within them. They're just props. I am so mortified by this whole situation, but I remain completely fascinated. So this all led to an in-person argument where I said, "You sent an email saying January 1st. You had me find someone, and I found someone. I have all your texts. I have you recorded saying January 1st 3 times. We both agreed to these terms. You are moving, not me. I even found a place for you to live. Just swap with the guy who wants to move into here. It's even the same room in a mirrored unit." And she countered, "Well, I don't know who that person is. Plus, I want to live with Sarah now." Sarah is a girl she befriended a couple months ago in the building. Now they want to live together. Okay, Sarah, good freaking luck with this one, man. It's not gonna go well, but as long as she's out of my hair, I don't care. I just told her that I am staying, come hell or high water. Also, for background, the guy who wants to move in put his replacement search on hold because my roommate wasn't going to confirm until December 1st whether or not she could move out. Except she flipped that and wants a confirmation now. When I pointed out how erratic she was, she got upset and decided that we both need to move out. If I have to be uncomfortable, everybody's gonna be uncomfortable. Dude, why are you like this? Like, who let you get away with this to the point that you can hardly even function in the real world? Roommate says, well, I don't think it's very fair that one of us stays in the apartment and the other leaves. I think we both need to vacate the apartment, so you'll need to be leaving too. OP says, no, thanks. And then she slips into her rant. Well, that's not very logical. Why would you want to stay in an apartment where someone hates your guts? And I just replied, because you're choosing to be like this. Well, then I guess we should look forward to making each other miserable for the next 8 months. Because I'm staying. There we go. Let's get really petty with this. You will move out one way or the other. At the end of this month, you'll be begging me to end this lease. I'm gonna buy a drum set. I'm gonna join a marching band. I'm gonna buy Marshall Stack speakers and play Fallout 4 through them. You want some peace and quiet? You better buy some earplugs. She didn't talk to me for the rest of the week. She'd just leave her laptop on at full volume in the living room, playing music as she was in the bedroom or the bathroom. She left a mountain of garbage, dishes, and recycling to force me to do work while she left for California on Saturday. You think I'm not gonna put all of this stuff in your bed? Bet. Apparently, one of her smears is to tell people that I'm some kind of misogynist who expects the woman to clean up the boy's mess. Except I hadn't been in the apartment all week by her orders and threats. This is all her crap. See, man, this war's being fought even before OP knew that he was fighting it. Once he starts to fight back, then we'll have a square fight on our hands, and we'll see who comes out on top. OP continues, I know if I left all that garbage in her room, she'd probably burn me in my sleep or stab me, so I'm just gonna clean all of it and send her a text saying, you left the garbage, recycling, and a sink full of dishes for me to clean up. After banning me from the apartment for a week, I am cleaning it because I, personally, don't like leaving an apartment filthy, like some people. Next time you leave the apartment a mess for vacation, I'm putting your mess in your room for you to clean up. You're a grown adult, supposedly. I am not your maid, supposedly. You make a mess, you clean your mess. Remember earlier I asked like who was letting her get away with this to the point that she thinks it's okay to do it? It's OP. OP is the one enabling all of this. If you're literally fearing for your life, then you should be running out of that apartment, but I don't think that you do. This is all sort of a roundabout attempt to play the good guy and also the victim. One person is clearly more at fault than the other in this situation, but I think you're both culpable to some extent. Anyways, OP continues, I bet she'll just say, oh, she was too sick and in too much of a rush to clean up after staying home for a week and going to yoga and having a personal training session at the gym with cardio. Or, I'm on vacation right now and I choose not to deal with this. Don't bother me again. Thanks. You gonna just let her brush you off like that, bro? Maybe you need to put the fear of God in her. Maybe she's the one that needs to be scared of being burned in her sleep. I'm not saying it's the best way to go, but at least consider it. So yeah, I'm going to the LGBT Center tomorrow for a free legal consultation. I'm not even sure where to go or what to mention. She's just such an abusive, evil person. I'm not sure 20 minutes is even enough to get through the 3 posts that I've made on Reddit. And I have 10 pages of documentation of her utter insanity. Wish me luck, everyone. Edit. Changed. I asked if I was threatening her to the actual. I asked if she was threatening me. She threatened me. I asked if she was threatening me, and she said, yeah, I'm threatening you. Cool edit, bro. Update. I spoke with a lawyer yesterday, and they were very blunt. I am in an abusive situation, and I need to get the hell out ASAP. Isn't that what I said back in post 1? Why are we still going through this whole rigmarole, huh? I understand you don't want to move. But sometimes in life, you have to strongly consider which hills are actually worth dying on, you know? Anyways, the lawyers were very clear. She could slam her head into a door, call the police, and they would arrest me. And I'd have to hire a criminal lawyer to fight the charges, etc. Her threat is just too severe to ignore. So more than likely, I'll be finding somewhere else to stay until she leaves the apartment. Well, it sounds like she quote-unquote won, but really, everybody loses in this situation. Let's go ahead and check out one more part, and I suppose I'll leave the other parts for a little bit later. It should make an interesting compilation, to say the least, so let's get into it. My roommate has decided preemptively to not pay January's rent before moving out in February. Oh, okay, we just kicking the can down the road. I'm actually moving out next Christmas. And also, I don't want to pay rent until then. Hello, all. My roommate is a total nightmare. But this is neither here nor there. We are in NYC. Gay male living with a female roommate. Psychotic hypochondriac female roommate. Or really, those descriptors don't even begin to scratch the surface of what we've seen so far. She recently decided to move out February 1st, but she decided to not pay January's rent. When we moved in July 1st, the company asked us for first month's rent and a deposit. We gave it. We got 1 month free, but they also allowed us to move in July 1st, even though the lease didn't officially start until August 1st, and we are both on that lease. So, July, free, given in the form of a month's credit. August, prepaid. September, accredited month. October, rent continues on as normal until the end of the lease. I'm not very good at adulting, and I'm not sure what all that stuff means, so I'm just gonna smile and nod and be like, yeah, that's how we do things sometimes, I guess. The deal we decided on was to save those 2 months of rent and split it 1/10 to reduce our overall payments. Oh, that's actually kind of big brain time. Anyways, my roommate decided to move out of the apartment February 1st. You can look her story up on BadRoommates, but she's also decided to not pay January's rent, claiming that since she paid in advance for August, it was her right to not have to pay a month. I called her out on that nonsense, and that then switched to, well, we each have a free month of credit, so I'm just taking my month. Are you stupid or something? What an absolute nightmare. I hope r/legal advice has some good advice for this dude. Because the only thing that I can think of is it's time to GTFO. I said it, I've been said it, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Up and out. I pointed out repeatedly that that is not how this works. She would also increase my rent by doing this, but of course, she doesn't care about me in the slightest. She is going to try and fleece me and the apartment's account for as much cash as she possibly can. When I say account, it's the apartment's deposit account, nothing that she can actually withdraw from. The management agency has been made aware, and they are sympathetic to me, but I'm not sure what else I can do to ensure that she pays her share of the rent and doesn't attempt to financially destroy me. No, I cannot afford to leave. I am trapped, and I am at her mercy. Bro, OP, hit me up. I could try and help you get out of this. Maybe GoFundMe, something like that, man. I hate having to see you go through this, and now I realize that you don't actually have any recourse. You're just sitting there and bracing for your own destruction, and it's sad to see, dude. You got into the situation because you wanted to help out a friend, and that friend took advantage and sucked you to the very last drop. And not in the fun way, neither. It's really a horrible situation and quite a cliffhanger to leave it on, but we'll be back in about a week to see how this whole thing wraps up. I do hope you enjoyed the video, friend. If you did, I hope you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Share the video around if you should like. Go watch the previous video. All those things super cool to do. Thank you so much. You can check out my social medias, links in the description. There's all sorts of stuff. Amazon affiliate link that goes to my microphone. There's some Teespring merch over there. I don't know. You can also join up on Patreon or YouTube channel memberships. There's a small little thanks button down there if you just want to throw me money as a one-off. All of that stuff, of course, helping to feed my family, keep the channel afloat, and I thank you heartily. If you can't do it, don't sweat it too hard, friends. It also helps that you were just here and watched the thing. And I hope that you'll come back and watch the thing that we do tomorrow. In order to do so, keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, and of course, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.